iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. I am going to be all over the place today. I admit it. I apologize. I admit it. I'm going to do some baseball. I'm going to do some football. I'm going to do some basketball. I may throw in some golf. Who knows what I'm capable of today, but I know you all want to be listening to what I have to say. All right, so I'm going to start out with some big news here. Big news, hot off the presses. I tell you this right now. You know how hot it is? About an hour hot. The Eagles signed LeGarrette Blount to a 1-year contract. So what? Maybe they have to give New England a compensatory pick. Who cares? Ryan Matthews, we know what I think of Ryan Matthews. He's dog poo on a stick. Guy's terrible. Darren Sproles, getting older. Wendell Smallwood, yeah, not great. LeGarrette Blount helps the Eagles immeasurably. It's a great signing. I'm not sure he could have been in any other better spot. I really don't think so. I mean, this is a team that doesn't want to throw the ball 57 times a game like they had to do last year with Carson Wentz. Didn't want to do that. Okay? So now they can hand them the ball 20 times a game. Right? They can go with Sproles and Smallwood. He's certainly a great short yardage back. He's certainly a great goal line back. And the Giants were looking at him. So now the Eagles not only benefit themselves, they hurt another team in their division. Because the Giants really could have used this guy. Let's bump up Paul Perkins. Let's bump up Wayne Gallman a little bit for the Giants. But I think we really bump up LeGarrette Blount. I think he's going to have fun running in this division. I think 11 touchdowns is safe. Okay? I think Ryan Matthews is done. He will end up somewhere else. Somebody will give him a spot. I don't know, but he's injury prone. We know that. I think he had neck surgery this offseason. He's going to turn 30. I mean, somebody will sign him to a deal. But he's nobody you want. We've already discussed this. The guy's good like 1 week a year. So I think this is pretty big news. And, you know, this is a good signing for the Eagles. The Eagles made a couple of good signings this year. LeGarrette Blount, Alshon Jeffrey. These are guys on 1-year deals. Prove it. Show me what you can do. Prove to me what you can do. I think they'll be effective. I like it a lot for the Eagles. I think it makes them more competitive right now. Alshon Jeffrey playing for a contract. LeGarrette Blount, playing to stay in the league. Dude had 18 rushing touchdowns last year. Right? 18 rushing touchdowns last year. Over 1,000 yards rushing for the Patriots. It won't be the same. Right? It won't be the same in Philadelphia, but it'll be all right. Okay? It'll be all right. All right, some other things here. Carson Palmer says John Brown looks much better. Looks much better this year, John Brown. John Brown was never healthy last year, not 1 minute. I mean, he was a total nightmare last year. He had sickle cell issues, if you remember. He had some cyst in his spine, I think he did. I mean, he just was a disaster. This was a guy that we thought was going to be a top 20 pick last year. Right? Was that right? Top 20 pick, give or take, in top 25 maybe in fantasy circles, and he performed like a top 58. I think this year, good value on John Brown if he's back to 100%. Samaje Perine, by the way, the Redskins like this guy. You know what they said? He might just be their starter. Here's my shock look. Can you see it? Oh, that was me being shocked. I'm not shocked. This guy's the big deal. This guy's awesome. This guy's a star. This guy's going to go into Washington. R. Kelly, I believe you can sit on the bench. I believe you can be the water boy. I believe you won't be playing anymore because Sama J is going to win the day. All right? There's my singing for you. I know that was awful. Okay, so there we have it. That is some football news. LeGarrette Blount, the big news of the day. Okay? Fantasy baseball. There are a lot of injuries right now in fantasy baseball. All right, so first of all, A.J. Pollock, we know, is out. We discussed this. Robinson Cano going on the DL as well. He tried to play on Monday, but that was unsuccessful. So they're going to give him another week off. Should be back probably by the weekend, maybe by Sunday. I think he'll be fine. Better safe than sorry, right? Now that it's a 10-day DL versus a 15-day DL, better safe than sorry. David Phelps, I want you to watch this guy. David Phelps may move into the rotation. I think he's interesting. They've been playing around with David Phelps for a while there in Miami. Is he a starter? Is he a closer? Here's the problem with David Phelps as a starter. He's not going to go more than 5 or 6 innings. I don't think he's really capable of it. But I do like him a little bit. I like him a little bit. He's like Joe Biagini. This guy can go 5 innings, let up 4 hits, maybe 1 run, and get like 4 or 5 strikeouts. That won't kill you. It's not great. I don't like him in 10-man leagues. I don't like him in a 12-man league. In a 14, 15, 16-man, I think he's interesting, and I would stash him. Not great. I'd stash him. Okay? Speaking of stashing, do you know who came up? Bradley Zimmer came up. Bradley Zimmer is the Cleveland Indians' top prospect, I think we would agree. Right? We would agree that Bradley Zimmer is probably the top prospect, top 3 prospect. So up until this point, he was hitting .294, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, 9 stolen bases in the minor leagues. Okay? He did strike out in all 3 at-bats yesterday. But this guy's going to get a shot. He's 24, and he could get 2 to 3 weeks up there with the Indians. Could get it. Now, people will go out in your league and they will bid a lot of money on Bradley Zimmer. I would never do that. Not that I don't like Bradley Zimmer, I do. But what do I expect him to do this year? Now, if you're in a dynasty league, if you're in a keeper league, I'm a big fan of Bradley Zimmer. You have my blessing if you want to get him. But if you're in what we call the redraft league, which is basically a league for this year only, is he going to hit 10 home runs? I don't think so. Is he going to steal 10 bases? I don't think so. Is he going to look good in your lineup because he's a rookie? Maybe. But what's he going to do more than that? I don't really know. I don't really know what he's going to do. So I wouldn't really recommend picking him up. But here's a guy who's interesting, Ian Happ. Ian Happ has 10 at-bats in the majors this year. The dude has 4 hits and 2 home runs. Okay? He's got 4 hits and 2 home runs. 1 for 3, 2 for 4, 1 for 3, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Oh, by the way, this year in 104 at-bats in the minors, he had 9 home runs as well. So this is a dude who can hit. The question is, where does he play for the Cubs? I think it's a fair question. Not going to play first. Could he play second instead of Zobrist or Javi Baez? Maybe, but Joe Madden loves Ben Zobrist. Loves him. Going to play over Baez? Maybe. He's going to play shortstop over Addison Russell? I doubt it. Is he going to play third base over Chris Bryant? No. Is he going to play over Kyle Schwarber? No, thank you. Is he going to play over Jason Hayward? Maybe, but Jason Hayward and Ben Zobrist could go out there. But could he play over John Jay? Possibly. So Ian Happ to me is way more interesting than Bradley Zimmer. Way more interesting. Why? Because he can play outfield. He also qualifies at second base, but he can play outfield, and that's where the Cubs are putting him. So, look, John Jay for me is nothing more than a late inning defensive replacement. Yes, he's hitting .294. He's got no home runs and 4 RBIs and 1 steal. You know what that is? Nothing. I mean, that is a defensive replacement if I've ever seen one. So I would much rather go with Ian Happ, give that dude 3 at-bats a game, and then let John Jay come in the 7th or 8th inning and play some defense. I'm good by that. That makes a lot of sense to me. So I would happily pick up Ian Happ anytime you want. And I think he's got value this year. Could he hit 15 home runs the rest of the way? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100% on that one. 100%. Could he hit 50 RBIs? Probably not. But could he hit 15 home runs and 40 RBIs the rest of the way? I think he can. I think that would be interesting. All right, so we've covered a little football, a little baseball. How about a little basketball? So I'm watching the NBA draft lottery last night, and all I'm thinking to myself is, who wants the deal? Who wants the deal with Lavar Ball? Seriously, who wants to deal with this guy? There's only one guy who I think can deal with him. Magic Johnson. The question is, does Magic Johnson want to deal with him? Right? Does Magic Johnson want to deal with him? So let me just say this. There's no way. Well, I'll take it back. If the Celtics keep the pick, they're taking Markelle Fultz. Write that down right now. 100%. 100% that's what they're doing. Okay? Why? You think Danny Ainge wants to deal with Lavar Ball? Please. Some brothers in Southdale go to Lavar Ball and take him out back and give him the business. There's no way that's a good match. That's a bad match if I've ever heard one. Terrible match. Okay? Terrible. So I don't think that happens at all. Okay? So the next thing that happens is they take Markelle Fultz. If they don't take Markelle Fultz, do you know what I see? I see them trading the pick. Could they get Jimmy Butler from Chicago? Maybe. Could they get Paul George from the Pacers? Sure, why not? If I'm either of those teams, I'm moving for Markelle Fultz yesterday. Boom, done. See ya. Basically, I do a deal if I'm the Bulls. I want Jay Crowder and your number one for Jimmy Butler, and I'll give you like a future number one down the road. Something like that. Something like that. If I'm the Pacers, I'll figure another deal out too. I would do that deal in 2 seconds. Now, so the Celtics take Fultz or they trade, which leaves the Lakers having to deal with Lonzo Ball and his father. Now, Lonzo Ball is like, yeah, I don't know if I want to work out for any other team but the Lakers. If you're the Lakers, you have to ask yourself, do I want to deal with this guy and his father for the next 5 to 7 years? I mean, seriously. This guy's a nut job. But if there's any one person that I think could handle this fruitcake, it's Magic. Because I don't think Lavar Ball is listening to some guy who hasn't won championships. Magic Johnson, one of the 3 best players of all time. One of the 3 best players of all time, by the way. Say what you will. If you don't agree with that, I think we have to have a discussion. It's certainly no worse than 5. You got to put Kareem there. You got to put Jordan there. You got to put Magic there. I know some of you will put LeBron there. I'll put Bird in that conversation too. Top 5. So maybe Lavar Ball can listen to Magic Johnson. Maybe. Possibly. I mean, maybe Johnson can talk some sense into him and say, look, your kid's good. He's not that good yet. I didn't have Magic Johnson $1,000 shoes. Why does your kid? But I don't wish this on Magic Johnson. If I'm Magic, I got to be honest with you. Maybe I take somebody else. Maybe I take De'Aaron Fox and let somebody else deal with Lonzo Ball. Because that's a headache and a half. That is a headache and a half. So I just thought it was very interesting. I said to myself, it worked out the best way for the Ball family. He goes to the Lakers. Those shoes for $495, they're probably worth another $100. Those shoes with the signature, if he goes to the Lakers and he performs well, probably worth more money. So, I mean, good for him. Not that I really care, but I guess I'll say good for him. Okay, last thing I want to touch on is PGA DFS. Now, if you know me at all, you know I love PGA DFS. It's one of my favorite sports. I would say football is 1, golf is 2, and baseball is 3. Baseball might be 2, but since it's every night, it gets on my nerves. And by August, I'm totally done with it. But golf, I'm not done with. Because golf, I can make $1 million at some point. 4 times this year. Masters, US, the Open Championship, PGA, I can get $1 million. So I just want to drop some knowledge on you here. Years ago, when Tommy G and I did our late night show together, we talked about recency bias. When a guy sucks one week, does that mean he sucks the next week? No. But a lot of people think that these guys do. So, for example, Matt Kuchar killed people last week. He made the cut and then he was a disaster. Went +9 on Saturday. Jordan Spieth didn't even make the cut. Don't worry about what the guy did last week. Last week was a different tournament. Maybe he had a fight with his wife. Maybe the bed he slept on was uncomfortable. Maybe the wind was blowing when he hit his tee shot. Maybe the sun was in his eyes when he was putting. Don't worry about last week. Worry about this week. If you worry about last week, you will be a week behind. And when you're a week behind in DFS, you will end up losing. So my best advice to you is worry about this week. Forgive and forget. In DFS, you have to have a very short memory. Forgive and forget. Guy screws me on Monday, I'll still play him on Tuesday. It wasn't personal. He doesn't hate you. Just didn't play well. So please, whether it's Matt Kuchar, Jordan Spieth, anybody who screwed you last week who's playing again, don't run away from them. They may be very useful. All right, but it's time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Want you to join scoutfantasy.com, enter the promo code ROTO, that's ROTO. Pay for 1 month, we'll get you 2 more for free. You'll get MLB Optimizer, you'll get Sean Childs' Team Outlooks, you'll get my articles and podcasts, you'll get Adam Ronis' articles, you'll get access to our premium message boards and DFS info. It's some great stuff there for you at scoutfantasy.com. And check out playffwc.com. There's a draft tonight. Be part of it. Be part of the best draft room, commissioner product, customer service, everything. It is great. I want you there. All right, guys, have a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!